Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. This is Rocket Ed with more Undecember tips. In this video, I'm going to talk about a Whirlwind Toxic Flame build, and we have already another builds, different builds that we're going to show you guys. We have a Fireball build, we have a Will Slash build, and there is more coming up next. So in this video, we're going to talk about this build from Only Shadow. He plays in the European server. Shout out to Only Shadow. Thank you for sharing this build with us. He has a tanky build with 6,000, almost 6,600 HP. I really like this build. There is a gameplay in the end. You're gonna see that he can clear maps fast, and he moves through the mobs. And moving through the mobs actually is part of the build, is made that way. And when moving through the mobs, he gets he gets a lot of bonuses, and you're gonna understand that. So let's start with the runes. We have here obviously Whirlwind at level 1. He keeps it at level 1 because increasing the level of Whirlwind is not something that I want to do with Whirlwind Toxic Flame, because the higher the level of the Whirlwind, the more you have to put points in dexterity, and you don't use this dexterity in this build, so you leave it at level 1. Not only that, you want to miss with Whirlwind, because you do not attack with Whirlwind, the meaning that Whirlwind is not supposed to do damage. Whirlwind is just supposed to cast Toxic Flame, but you also get some different bonuses from Whirlwind. So let's understand what Whirlwind does. It does a lot more than just casting Toxic Flame, all right? So let's start here with Hunger. Hunger will give 8 HP on every attack hit. So if he hits with Whirlwind, he gets 8 HP for every hit. So it's important that Whirlwind hits to get HP. Now he also gets, and notice that he levels up Hunger and he increases the rarity as well. So why he does that? Because when increasing rarity, he gets more HP for every hit. And he also increases the gains when increasing the level. So he increases the level and the rarity. Now Savagery is different. He keeps it at level 1, only increases the rarity. It's going to increase the weapon range, so the Whirlwind will have a higher radius when attacking. So he can hit more mobs because of the area. The area is bigger. Then we have Channeling Enhancement. Now this one he levels up the link rune, as well as increasing the rarity. It's going to increase damage when channeling, and it dampens damage taken. Also, this one here comes from the rare quality. So he wants to do both. He has quick attack. He does not invest points in casting speed because the Whirlwind will be casting the Toxic Flame. So it's a different. It's actually he's investing in attack speed. Okay, so the faster Whirlwind attacks, the faster he can cast Toxic Flame. So quick attack, both level and rarity for increased attack speed. And we have here Cut. Cut is here only to inflict the debuff. Okay, so the debuff, he will add bleed, and when the enemy is bleeding, he gets 12% damage taken amplification. So Cut here is the debuff source for the build, and he's going to put points on the Zodiac to do more damage when he is debuffing enemies. So he links it to the Toxic Flame. His Toxic Flame has, as you can see here, it has 10 Candor Essences, so 10 white sides, which allows him to raise the maximum level of Toxic Flame to 32. If you are not aware of this, for every 5 Candor Essences that you successfully add to your skill rune, you can increase the maximum level of the skill rune by 1. So since he added 10 Candor Essences successfully, he can increase the max level of the Toxic Flame to 32. Now he cannot use more Candor Essences. He did a hard fail. The last time he tried to apply a Candor Essence, so now it's locked with 10 white sides, which is already great. I don't think Well, of course, he's sad about it, but 10 Candor Essences is already great, and it's a legendary skill rune. So this is awesome. So the link runes around Toxic Flame, they are the ones we are used to. Dot, element damage amplification, spell damage increase, additional poison damage, the four main ones together with poison penetration. So there are no surprises here, all as expected. We have here, let's go to the movement skill runes. We have teleport and leap attack, both with the known link runes. Both use count to increase +1 use count, so you can leap twice and teleport twice, and he increases the level and the rarity, so it reduces the cooldown, so you can actually activate your leap attack and teleportation faster. And also disarm, which will also decrease the cooldown. So these are very these two link runes are the ones that you want to add to your movement skills. He also has a release element, which we all do, also with the basic link runes of time acceleration and increased duration, reduce cooldown and increase duration, which he shares with Shout of Provocation. Now, Shout of Provocation is great. He activates it with a buff activation when hit, so this link rune is great with Shout of Provocation. Whenever you get hit, the Shout of Provocation will be activated automatically every time you get hit. And since you're gonna see in the gameplay, he plays with the whirlwind moving through the mobs, he's constantly getting hit. So he's constantly activating Shout of Provocation. Shout of Provocation has also the basic link runes of Hushed Shout, which will increase the cooldown recovery speed, so you can activate Shout of Provocation more often. It increases the duration of the effect and improves the effects of Shout of Provocation. We are talking about damage and damage and armor. Sorry, damage and armor increase. Then we have here Bulwark of Protection. Bulwark of Protection also activated when hit, and it shares only the time acceleration, but at a 30 level with rare quality, it already does a lot. Increases your armor and element resist, and these two together are two great buffs that will be activated automatically every time you get hit. So I really like it. This helps him become quite tanky. As you will see in the gameplay, his HP almost never drops because of his increased armor and element resist with these runes. We have down here Seal of Condensed Elements, which will increase his damage, and we have Seal of Element Domain, which will dampen element damage taken. These two are very expensive. That's why he linked both of these to dampen resource cost. It reduces the mana cost of the skill runes. So this is, I would say, necessary. Okay, so he does it well. He also makes a very good use of the board. He occupies everything. He even unlocked this corner slot here. So this, I really like the disposition of his runes here. He's making very good use of all the spaces with only useful stuff. We have here also Veil of Protection. Veil of Protection, when activates Earth Veil, melee damage taken will decrease 12.3%, and projectile damage taken increases. Now the opposite happens when he activates Wind Veil instead of Earth Veil. Then projectile damage taken will decrease by 12.3%, and the melee damage taken will increase 2.3%. So with that, we cover all his runes, so we can go now to Zodiac. The Zodiac starts very similar to every Toxic Flame build We have the 5 top ones at Cliff, at trade 1, trade 2 Forest, the bottom ones with the damage in the middle. The trade 3 also, the Gem, taking all the damage from trade 3, trade 4 Seed, damage upon spell and dot. Then we go to trade 5. He gets almost all the damage. He does not take the damage here in the middle. With the dodge, he does not get any points in dodge to get this damage here. As we'll see, there are a few damage nodes that he does not get in the Zodiac because he does invest a lot in survivability. That's how he got his hit points up to 6,580. So we go to 5. Yeah, we seen 5. We go to 6. 6 at breath. He also takes all the way from element damage to poison penetration, as is common for toxic flame builds. And then there's convection. This is also good for survivability, increased survivability. These, I really like this in convection because these are percentile increases to HP plus physical damage taken dampening. So these 3 are very good. I actually go all the way down here to 20% armor as well. I like to get these 5 here myself. And at trade 7, he goes to Scent. He also goes all the way down here to 40% damage for 2 seconds upon miss, like I said. So when he hits with the toxic, with the whirlwind, he gets 8 HP plus 1, so he gets 9 HP every attack hit. All right, so when he hits, he gets life. When he misses, he gets damage. All right, when he misses, he gets damage. So it's a win-win situation. He also gets these nodes here, which I also like because you start with 1 point to get 9% damage, and then you have 2 life increases. One increases the base damage, and the other one applies a bonus to the, sorry, the base damage, the base HP, and the other one applies a bonus HP to the base HP. So this is very good, and I like it. I like it. I don't go for the next ones as he didn't, also because there are better ones further ahead. We go to trade 8, and here he does almost as we do with like a mage build for Toxic Flame. Instead of using Whirlwinds like pure Toxic Flame, we get all these nodes, and he, instead of getting cast speed, he gets attack speed. Like we said, it's not about cast speed when you're using Whirlwind, because Whirlwind will channel and activate the Toxic Flame, so it's more about attack speed. So he removes from cast speed and puts it on attack speed. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on trade 8. He also gets Farmer. I love Farmer, and I'm investing in Farmer right now. I'm still level 89, he's 97, but I'm going to do exactly what he did here. Right now, I have these 3 nodes, so he goes down here and gets 12% HP amplification. Now, let's understand here. You have increasing your base HP. This is like plus 25 HP. So this is like your base HP. Now 5% HP, it's like getting 5% applied to your base HP, and when you get amplification, that's an increase on your total HP or something close to your total HP. It works similar to damage. When you get like plus 20 poison, or you're getting an increase to your base damage. When you get plus 9% damage, then you get a damage bonus that will be applied to your base damage. And when you get damage amplification, then you get a bonus that will be applied to your total damage. So the same thing works with HP. Going for damage for HP amplification will increase your HP by a lot. So he goes down and up and gets 15% HP amplification. Now, to get this 12% HP amplification, he has to disable HP regeneration, which I'm fine with it. I don't care for HP regeneration because HP regeneration is something that happens after the fight. It's not something that will increase your survivability by a lot. I am happy to make this trade. Increasing my HP giving 12% HP amplification is a fair trade to disable my HP regen, and I can actually replace my HP regen with potions. That's what potions are there for. So we have two HP potions, one that increases the HP instantly, and the other one that regenerates our HP. So we don't really have to rely on HP regen. We can just get these HP amplifications. I think they are much better for our survivability. And then we have Hunter. Hunter is also an interesting one because not only is he interested in attacking faster, he wants to move fast as well. There's a lot of investments in this build to move fast. So he gets the 9% damage, which is we all do. It's right there, just 1 point to get 9% damage. But then he invests in movement speed, detect prey, 5% chance of movement speed, 10% increase, and then we have alert movement, which makes your movement speed not fall below the base value of 600. So this is an investment mostly on movement speed on Hunter. After getting those 9% damage. And then down here at Blacksmith, I really like this as well. He gets a 4% physical damage dampening. Now, physical damage taken dampening is important because as we're gonna see on the gameplay, when he moves with Whirlwind, he moves through the mobs. Okay, it's different. When I play with Toxic Flame, I'm avoiding the mobs. I'm attacking from a distance. If a lot of mobs come close to me, I jump. I put a poison area and then I teleport back because I don't want those mobs to get too close to myself. Now he plays differently. He moves through the mobs, and because of that, even though his DPS is lowered by the channeling, he manages to clear maps quite fast. And one of those reasons is his high survivability, his attack speed, and his movement speed. Now, increasing physical damage taken is important because since he's going to move through the crowds, melee damage. Okay, so those melee minions could do a lot of damage. So dampening the physical damage taken is important. And here, because he takes those two physical damage taken dampenings, then there's a chance to get plus 15% HP amplification. So he got 15%. Where is it? So he got 15% here, and now at Farmer and a Blacksmith, he gets another 15. So that is huge. Okay, very huge. I'm also going to copy this. I really, really liked it. And he disables dodge, which is like it's free. Okay, he does not use dodge. I don't use dodge. It's not a dexterity based Toxic Flame build. So this is very good here at Trade 8. Now, as for specializations, when we are talking about Toxic Flames, Toxic Flame builds, we either go here at Brilliance or we go down here at Shade. So he goes Shade, and we're gonna see why. So Shade here, he goes all the way up to dot amplification and all the way down to overpower. It really reminds us of Brilliance. Brilliance, we go all the way up to dot amplification and then to overpower. So very, very similar. And then after Shade, he goes to Greed, and Greed, he goes all the way up to dot amplification. And then all the way down to acceleration. Now this is one of the reasons why he's going Shade and not Brilliance. Acceleration will give him movement speed and attack speed. Cast speed, not important to him, and he also has a plus 10% on acceleration effect. And then we go to Creek. Now Creek, a lot of stuff going on at Creek. So up here, element damage penetration with element damage. Up here, more movement speed, 12% movement speed increase while affected by Wind Veil. Remember, he has Earth Veil and Wind Veil from Veil of Protection. So 12% movement speed increase while affected by Wind Veil, and plus 50% mana regen when affected by Earth Veil. Down here we have 15% damage amplification upon barrier deactivation. Now this is very interesting as well because he doesn't carry a lot of barrier. His barrier is quite low because he moves through the crowds constantly, he's getting hit constantly, and this barrier will drop constantly, which means that he'll get 15% element damage amplification constantly as well, because his barrier will be constantly deactivated. The barrier is not the main defense that he has. Okay, so to the right we have some damages against debuffed enemies, and that the only debuff that I have seen in his build is comes from cut. There's no other way of giving enemies debuffs. So he gets those extra points here from debuffing enemies. So we have seen runes, we have seen Zodiac. Let's take a look at the gear. Very cool, very cool. Earthquake, Earthquake Scepter. The stats are good, 137 and 182, close enough to the maximum. He gives it 13% dot amplification, which is great. Increase with the prefixes, the attack, the base damage, and these alone are already good enough. But he also has 13.4% damage amplification against debuffed enemies. So debuffing enemies is not it's important for the build. Okay, he gets a huge boost with these every time the enemies are debuffed. So, and he does not run Lightning Typhoon. So he is relying on cut for the debuffs. What else we have here? Physical damage. He does not do a lot of physical damage. This is not important. But the 17 HP on kill is also very good for his survivability. And together with the high HP, this will increase his survivability by a lot. Having a class 8, tier 8 strength here, bonuses, also helps. It's not the most important part of the scepter, but it also helps. And it's a legendary scepter, so very, very great. I really like the scepter. And here we have one with 24% quality with almost perfect stats. I wish this one was legendary. I think I don't know the story about these. Maybe he managed to craft this one after he got this one legendary. I don't know, but those are two very good scepters. I wish I had both. Let's take a look at this scepter here. These not so great dot amplification, but although it's only tier 8, he gets a tier 9 attack and spell damage. So it's not a bad scepter. 33 mana on kill, also awesome. The weapon range will also be useful with Whirlwind, and 44% damage against enemies affected by status effect. Also, he probably gets, I will assume he probably gets this bonus as well when debuffing with cut. Okay, so very cool scepters. He gets 31% poison damage with the shoulders, and he does not use the usual unique helmet that Toxic Flame players use. Instead, he's using this one. But I do believe that at the moment that I was looking at his build, he probably had a farming set on, because he's carrying item drop rarity necklace, and his element rings that he's using, they are focused on kill experience. So he probably has another set of rings that focus on element damage, higher element damage. So that could be the reason why he has this helmet on at the moment that I'm looking at his build. Okay, or maybe he runs with this as his official set. I don't know. This one here, the The armor, it's solid. It could be higher for a class 28. He has prefix on increasing the armor. If he had a suffix, then we would see a big boost here. +3 spell damage skill rune level. This is very, very good. So a very solid 47 mana regen with cold resist. So this is not a bad armor. This is actually quite good. Light and darkness. This is the armor that every Toxic Flame build and other builds as well can look for because of these +3 spell damage skill rune level. So these will add 3 levels to his Toxic Flame. This is very, very good. On the gloves, he's running plus gear, plus barrier, and kill XP, drop item drop ready. So it does feel, even though it does feel like a farm gloves, it's a very good because even for a normal set of gloves, it's good because it gives you mana regen, it gives you armor, it gives you barrier. So it's not really a weak set just because it has some focus on farming XP. The boots are awesome. Like we said, he needs that movement speed, so he gets a to use a 40% increase movement speed boots plus 100 HP, and of course more kill XP and gear drop chance. So he, even though we can see that he is running, he seems to be running right now a farming set. It's a very solid set, focused on armor and barrier, the items, and here the belt also barrier. But look at this belt. This belt is great. 200 HP, 15% HP, mana potion cooldown recovery speed plus 16%, 29% enhanced potion duration, and of course more kill XP. So a very solid gears. There are no weak gear pieces here. They are all good, even though some seem to be very heavily focused on farming XP, like the rings here. But I have seen he play with this build. Even though he does not get the extra element damage on the rings, he can actually farm quite fast with this build. So he probably does not miss those extra damages here. Now Relic, he's using Hamal, and I think it's a great choice of Relic because of the DPS loss that he gets when using Whirlwind. And some of the choices that he made on that farming set that removes some damage bonus that he could have gotten. Hamal does a lot of damage. Okay, the Hamal does a lot of damage by itself. It's a very strong relic. At level 30, not only it gets a damage bonuses, it gets a 15% damage amplification, and the orb does 920% poison damage. It ignores 100% of the enemy poison resist, and he has a cooldown recovery of 50% and 50% damage amplification in the link runes. So this is a very powerful high damage relic that he's using. Now we have seen, let's take a look at his defenses. Now, when you open his defenses, you see that, okay, he has a good lightning and poison resist, okay fire resist, a very bad cold resist, and an average armor, almost bad armor. But when he plays with the build, you see that it's almost like everything here is great. You see these going up. When he moves through the crowd, those hits will activate Bulwark of Protection and Shout of Provocation. So next, now we're gonna see a gameplay. This is Only Shadow. Shout out to Only Shadow. Thank you very much for allowing me to show your build to everyone else. So this is a gameplay of him doing a tier 8 gold card in about 4 minutes. So let's take a look at it. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and we have a Discord invitation link in the description of this video where you'll find all my videos, and you'll find a growing community where you can play with other players. You can ask for questions, you can chat, join the voice chat. It's a lively growing community for Undecember players, and I hope to see you guys there. Thank you very much, and let's go to the gameplay.
All right. So I do this map around in 3 to 4 minutes, depends how big is the map. And as I showed you, you don't even need the damage. I did it without the damage. So
Yeah.
basically, what I did, I just put a Toxic Flame, so just it's on the side. And it gives me extra damage. Привет, Крифани.
Yeah. What about your mastery?
Mastery, movement speed. Pure movement speed.
Really?
Yes. HP and movement speed.